Thanks for inventing it. Would you like to plow ahead, or would you like a 2-minute stretch break like we had last time? Plow ahead? Okay. Okay, good.
Just give me a minute.
Okay. Okay.
Stand up, stretch.
I think we're gonna move on. All right. But I'll drag out the introduction just a little bit. Last year, we loved Marcel Miller. His presentation was excellent and just as useful as the information on smoke. In fact, his information can save your life right now, not just over the years as we avoid the carcinogens and so on. So he saves lives every working day. Marcel?
One second, bear with me here. Okay. That's not a full screen, but we'll work with it. Okay, so.
Click on the screen, lower on the bottom on the right.
Okay, technical stuff. Okay, everybody in the back can hear me pretty good? All right. Okay, so as it says up there, my name is Marcel Miller, and I am a paramedic here in Thailand, also in the United States, but I volunteer here in Thailand probably 4 days, 5 days out of the week sometimes. I work primarily Chiang Mai proper, but occasionally we go out a little bit further, depending upon what's needed, if there's any sort of mass casualty events or anything like that. Everyone here know who to call or how to call if in the event of some sort of medical emergency that you've either witnessed or a party to. Does everybody know what the number is to dial? All right. I know it's a little small there, but you might want to write it down, put it in your phone if you want to. It's 1669. Everyone got that one down? You have to remember that and say it again. It's 1669. I know here in Thailand there's several different numbers to call for different agencies. Even I just recently learned there's a 4-digit number to call if you need somebody to come out and fix something in your house. I didn't realize that, but 1669 will contact for medical emergency, not police, not fire, medical only. You can also call that number, and if you do have some sort of fire emergency, they'll get you routed over. But primarily medical information. The last time I spoke, I kind of gave a little bit of background on how the EMS system works here in Thailand and things that you can expect and the levels of service. Primarily the ambulances that you see roaming around Chiang Mai as you're in Thailand as you're going about are rescue ambulances. These are called BLS ambulances, basic life support. Just as the name says, basic is exactly what it is, it's basic. The premise behind it is we'll get to you, we'll load you up and rush you to the hospital. There's not going to be very much medical treatment given to you. The reason for that is these are volunteers who have very limited amount of actual medical training. They are simply there trying to provide a service to get you to the hospital. I'm sorry. Beyond that, there are advanced life support systems in place, ambulances, and professionals. This comes after the basic life support system has gotten to you. So the basic rescue ambulances that you see They will arrive, they will figure out that this is beyond their ability, and then they will contact ALS. And that's going to be more in line with the ambulances that you're used to seeing in more of the Western countries. Having more equipment, better training, still not training that you're going to be used to in the West, but at least you're dealing with doctors, nurses at this point that have a little bit better understanding of your emergency situation. After that, of course, is going to be your basic hospital emergency room services, which is going to be most of the hospitals in Chiang Mai. There are over 30 hospitals in Chiang Mai proper. And when I say Chiang Mai proper, I'm not talking about the province, I'm talking about the city. There are over 30 hospitals here. For the most part, most of them provide basic emergency care. There is one level 1 trauma center in Chiang Mai. That is Chiang Mai University Hospital. This is the hospital that if in the event that you have either witnessed some sort of major emergency, or you or a family member has been involved in one, heart attack, stroke, unknown cause, just collapsed. This is the name you have to continue to remember. I want to go to Chiang Mai University, Chiang Mai University, Chiang Mai University, Maharat, Sondok. Goes by several different names, but just keep saying Chiang Mai University, they're going to understand what you're saying. Chiang Mai University is the level 1 trauma center. Major emergencies, this is where you want to go. That's not to say that if you're next to one of the other hospitals, don't go, but this is primarily where you need to go if there's a major emergency that's taken place. When you call, try to calm down. Relax, Yin, calm down, because English is not the first language that they understand. So you have to be slow. They do understand English, but you cannot be excited. You've got to slow down. If there is someone around you that speaks Thai, I highly suggest you give the phone to them and let them communicate what is going on. It is one of the issues that comes into play is that the ambulance EMS system in all of Thailand, I'm not really sure about Bangkok, but the majority of Thailand is not connected to a GPS system. So just when you call on the phone does not mean they know where you are at. They have no idea, no earthly idea where you are at. So you've got to be able to communicate where you are. And in an emergency situation, you usually are not able to communicate this. So give the phone to someone who can, clearly and concisely say where exactly you are at. If you are at home, I highly suggest you learn how to say your address in Thai, your neighborhood, your street. You've got to be able to communicate this at least in Thai. You're going to live here. Try to learn some basic Thai so that you will be able to communicate things like this. Again, 1669 being your emergency services number for medical only. Again, it's for all levels of basic life support, advanced life support, anything. That's going to be the first number you need to call. Put this up, one, because this is my buddy, Uthai, but also just want to give you an idea of what the inside of a basic ambulance looks like. You can see, looks very tight. It looks very different from the ambulances that we're used to seeing in some of the Western countries. This is actually a really good ambulance for basic life support. I've worked in some that are literally pickup trucks, and it's rough. Trust me, I'm a combat medic, so I've seen some rough stuff. It's rough, but this is basically what you're looking at. Again, the volunteers that are working, very limited medical training. They know how to apply some oxygen. They know how to do CPR, basic, first aid. But beyond that, being able to ascertain what is going on with you based on symptomology is not going to be something that they're going to be able to do. So again, it is crucial that you be able to know what number to dial and communicate where exactly you want to go. On that issue, I've been working here in Chiang Mai for 3 years, I guess, doing this. And there's one thing that I do want to kind of stress to everyone. When you call into 1669, it's not as simple as, I'm sorry, your name, Ron, I think it is. It's not as simple as Ron calling 1669, hanging up the phone, and everything's going to be good. I'm not really certain why this is, but it depends on how many people have called to determine how fast they're going to get to you. So if Ron pick up the phone and have his wife call, and wife have the sister call, and have the friend call. If 4 people call, they understand that this is actually something that's happening. There's a problem. If one person calls, you kind of get lost. And then it's like, okay, well, I'll get to that. Trust me, it sounds horrible. Absolutely horrible, but it's absolutely true. As many people, if you are witnessing an accident out on the street later today, have every single person around you start calling until they have gotten tired of you calling. It's absolutely crucial. I've been on calls where we've gone out, 20 minutes, there's been an accident, and we arrive and they're like, what happened? We just got the call 3 minutes ago, but they've been there 20 minutes. So it's crucial, as many people as you can get to call, have them call. Again, every second counts. Something's happening, you've witnessed something, do not hesitate, pick up the phone, call immediately. Again, have as many people call until you start hearing the siren coming. And even then, until they've stopped, because they may be going somewhere else. So just keep calling. I think I've got a few minutes. Any questions? Sir, in that.
So I'm relatively new to Chiang Mai. And one of the things
Wait for the
I've
mic.
heard,
Well, just
Hold
repeat
on one
it.
second.
We can repeat it.
things I've heard is that if a local, a Thai person is injured and I call for an ambulance, I'm then responsible for any bills if they go to the hospital. Is that accurate?
That would be new to me.
Okay.
Okay, just repeat that.
So the question was, if you as a foreigner happen to see some sort of incident and you pick up the phone and call for a Thai person that has been injured, will you then become responsible for the medical bills per se for that person and that person's injury? That is the first I have heard of that. Not saying that's not true. This is the first I have ever heard of that.
Yeah.
One suggestion with that, if you were truly fearful of that, call, hear the ambulance coming in and walk away. Oh, 1 second. I do see you now. 1 second.
Yes, so is there a Good Samaritan law equivalent to other countries, like, for example, North America, that if you try to help and do your best and you are, BCF, ALS, CPR, can you address that? If we do see something, we would try to help?
Yeah, I do not know this from an absolute legal standpoint, but I have posed this question to a doctor here because I was a little concerned about it for myself before I actually really started getting into volunteering. And I was basically told, they're not going to give you any problem because, your goodness of your heart, you're being good, from your heart. And that Thai culture, in a sense, is not going to, punish you for doing something that's generally good. Ma'am.
My question is, I had a cut on my leg and Thai people called and the ambulance took me to the hospital. This is in Krabi, and I never received a bill. I didn't have to pay for it. Are the ambulances free?
So your ambulance service, if they come out to you and you do not get into the ambulance and have to go to the hospital, generally is free. Sometimes some of they're all nonprofits. Let me point that out to you. All of these ambulances that you see running around town, except for the ones that say hospital or the name getting hospital, all of those other ones, pickup trucks that you see and stuff like that, those are all volunteer nonprofit foundations. They will accept a donation, but it is not incumbent upon you to give a donation. You will not receive a bill. When they deliver a patient to the hospital actually compensates them for doing it. It doesn't come out for you. I hope that answers it.
Yeah, I wish I'd known. I would have paid something, but it wasn't in the hospital bill.
Yeah, and a lot of foundations are even reluctant to take a donation because, again, it's something they're doing out of the goodness of their heart.
Yeah, I'd like to point out that if you or someone you're with is feeling ill, or you think maybe they're having a heart attack or a stroke, that oftentimes it may be better just to get into a tuk-tuk and go, rather than waiting for an ambulance to come, because of what you said, these ambulances are not well equipped, and if the traffic is bad, a tuk-tuk can make better time. What is your thought of this? Because I mean, this is what I've advised people in a number of situations, is just get in the tuk-tuk that's always parked outside your condo and get yourself over to Maharat, rather than waiting for a vehicle to come over and get you.
Yeah, I understand the theory of that. I'm not completely opposed to it, I have to be completely honest, if it were my loved one. But again, I'm medically trained, a lot of experience, so if I witnessed that, I would probably do something very similar. But again, my first line would be contact, and if you have gotten to a point where you've realized, hey, look, I'm having a hard time communicating this with them or whatever, yeah, by all means, get going. Especially with a stroke, a heart attack, we're talking about seconds here that are really going to make a difference. I think there's another one back there, the pole.
Just a quick question. Why is it that the traffic doesn't flow for emergency vehicles in Thailand?
I think the question was why did they not pull over? I would like to know the answer to that one. I honestly can't really tell you. Just like in the Western world, we see a lot of issues with cell phones, WhatsApp, just on the phone, oblivious to what's going on. Music's too loud. We see the same things in the Western world that we see here. Sometimes we just literally see that I gotta get where I want to go, and I know you're not going anywhere. I will tell you that historically in the past, there has been a little bit of issue in Thailand with ambulance drivers running the lights when they shouldn't be. And it's still somewhat of an issue here now. Sometimes you'll see an ambulance, the lights is just spinning about and they're just sitting in traffic. And they try to communicate that, hey, look, if you've got the lights on and you are needing to go somewhere, you need to let people know. You start blaring the horn, you have to make them get out of the way instead of just sitting there relaxing with the lights going on. So a lot of this is learning curve issues, but honestly, other than just everything we see in the Western world, it's the same thing that applies here. They're on the phones, other things. I'm more important than that guy kind of thing. All right. Well, I will stay after. If there are any other questions or concerns, health issues that somebody wants to talk about, there's actually one more question in the back there. I do want to piggyback on Nati's bit with the mask. Kind of piggybacks into some of the issues that we're dealing with right now with the coronavirus out of China. I have a better mask on my bike. I carry a back up with me at all times, and I highly, highly suggest you guys start carrying masks, especially in a setting like this, having masks on. Don't shake hands very much, wash hands, don't put hands to the face. If we're in a setting like this where, especially if you go to the hospital, I cannot stress you enough, put on your eyeglasses, any kind of protection. You do not want something airborne going into your eyes. This thing, I understand I'm dealing with a population a little bit older than myself. This is a virus that is pretty tough on the older population than the younger. For the most part, this is just, for most people that contract this virus, you're just going to get pretty sick, and it's not going to be terminal. For the older population with underlying conditions and things of that nature, it's really, really tough on you. So mask up, gloves on if need be, eyeglasses, eye protection on. Sir?
Yeah, you said that they do have ALS ambulances?
They do have ALS ambulances that are medically equipment set ALS, and what happens is that ambulance is dispatched from the hospital after the BLS has dawned and determined that ALS is needed. So you could potentially be walking about 25, 30 minutes until ALS has gotten there. I'll further that is, like in this, I'm not sure if you're from the States, but in the States, we would never dispatch a doctor or a nurse out, you know, for a routine ALS situation. We don't want doctors and nurses out there. It's not their field of practice. Here, that's who gets dispatched out. And it's usually the lower person who's on duty. So it's not as though you're getting top-notch ALS care that's coming out.
So if we did notice we did have an ALS requirement, could we convey that? Would they consider sending anybody, or they just won't do it that way?
No, they won't do it that way. If you absolutely know that that's what it is, and again, what I would probably do is tell them, I'm not sure what area of town you live in, but let's say you live next to McCormick or something like that, near McCormick Hospital. I would say, send me the ambulance from McCormick, or have a Thai speaker saying exactly that. And they will then send an ALS ambulance from that, directly from that hospital, thereby cutting down some of that time. All right. Yeah, I'll be. I see there's one or two other ones, but I will be around after to take other questions and answer as much as I possibly can. Thank you.
That was great. Thank you.